Okay, let's look at number 2. So again, we need to do some conversions, and then we need to order these in order from, again, it's asking for least weight to greatest weight. So again, order the measures of weight from least to greatest to show your work. So this time we're dealing with pounds and ounces, and if we look at our conversion chart, 1 pound equals 16 ounces. So what we need to do first, again, is we need to take all our measurements and make sure that they're the same unit. And this time what we're going to do is make sure that they're all ounces. Okay, so we're going to look at each one and convert them all into ounces. If they're already ounces, we're going to leave them alone. So I'm looking at 3 pounds here. So again, 1 pound is 16 ounces. So we need to change that into ounces. So this one is not as easy as this one, because here we just went, times 1,000, but this one is times 16. So we got to go 3 pounds times 16 ounces per pound. So you can do what we learned in the last lesson, which was how to multiply 3 times 16. So again, I use partial products, or the area model here, so 3 times 16. So I did that, and I got 10 times 3 is 30, 6 times 3 is 18. When I add that together, the answer here is 48. You could also use, so this one here, if I keep going, is 48 ounces. You could also use this multiplication chart. So again, if I'm looking at 16 times 3, so I put the 3 and 16, so you would see 48. So you can use a multiplication chart to help you with these as well. And we're just going to go right across the 16s to multiply here. 30 ounces. Since that's already ounces, we're going to leave it alone. 16 pounds. Again, we would have to do 16 times 16. And I'm going to take out our multiplication chart. So again, 16 here and 16. We get 256. So 16 pounds is 256 ounces. And again, OZ is the abbreviation for ounces. 2 ounces is already ounces, so we're going to leave it the same. 288 ounces here and ounces. So we only needed to convert these 2 ones. Okay. So now what we need to do is we need to take all our ounces, because now ounces, 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 and put them in order from least to greatest. So our smallest one, if I'm looking at all of them, is right here. It's 2 ounces. So I'm going to again make a list. So 2 ounces, cross it out because we already have it in order. Our next smallest one, looking at what's left, is 48 ounces. Over here, 15 ounces is our next smallest one. Cross that one out, it's done. Okay, our next one here, 48, 30, 256. Okay, so our next smallest one is 30 ounces. 30 OZ. Okay, so we have 48, 256, 288. So 48 ounces. Or you can list it as 3 pounds. Would be our next one. So 3 pounds if you want to do that. Okay, and so that one's done. So now we're left with 256 ounces and 288. So then it goes 256 ounces and then 288 ounces. That's it for number 2. Hey friends, how we doing? It's Mr. Carter here, ready to help you with Fluency and Skills Practice Lesson 13.1. This one's converting units of weight and mass. So go ahead and put your name on this if you haven't yet, and let's begin. All right, so we are converting units of weight and mass to figure out these problems. So number 1 says order the measures of mass from least to greatest. So again, least to greatest, and show your work. So we have a bunch of units here in grams and kilograms, grams, kilograms. Okay, so what we need to do to solve this, what you can see here is we have our conversion chart here. So we have 1 kilogram equals 1,000 grams. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to take all our kilograms and convert them into grams. So I'm going to go through each of these, and if it's grams, I'm going to leave it alone, and if it's kilograms, I'm going to convert it into grams. That way, they're all 1 unit. Okay, and we're going to have all grams. Okay, and then once we have all grams, then we can put them in order from least to greatest. Okay, so here's our first one. It's 18 grams, and since it's grams, we're going to leave it alone. We're not going to do anything to it. Now, this one here is 17 kilograms. So again, 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams. So if we have 17 of those, basically you're going 17 times 1,000, because again, 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams. So if we have 17 of those, so that means 17 kilograms is 17,000 grams. And I'm just going to use G here for grams. 160 grams is our next one. Since it's grams, we're not going to do anything. We're going to leave it alone. 2 kilograms, again, so 1 kilogram is 1,000. So if we have 2 of them, that would be 2,000 grams. This one is grams, so we're going to leave it alone. And then finally, this one here is 208 kilograms. So again, 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams. So if we have 208 of those, that's a lot. So it's 208,000 grams. So now that they're all grams, see grams, 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 and grams, we can now put them in order from least to greatest. So if I'm looking at all of these, our smallest amount of grams is here. It's the very first one. So it's 18 grams. I'm just going to start a list here, so I'm going to put comma. All right. So then I look at my next one. Okay, so and I look through them. 17,000, 160, 2,000. Okay, so the next smallest is this one here, 160 grams. So again, 160 grams. So we did this one, we did this one. Okay, so now let's look at what's left. We have 17,000, 2,000, 2,100, 208,000. So our next smallest one is this one here, 2 kilograms or 2,000 grams. Let's say 2,000 grams. Okay, this one's done. So we have 17,000 grams, 2,100 grams, and so on. 208,000 grams here. So this one is our next smallest one. So 2,100 grams. Cross that out. So that leaves us with 2 left. 17,208. So this one, of course, is our next smallest. Cross that out. And then finally that leaves us with 208,000 grams. Okay. That's it for number 1. Okay, so let's look at number 3 and 4. So number 3 is asking, what strategy did you use to compare the measurements? Well, first, I converted the measurements first, and then I put them in order. Because, as we'll talk about down here, they all have to be the same unit of measurement before you can put them in order. So that brings us to question 4. How is ordering the measurements different from ordering a set of regular numbers? How are they the same? Well, it's different because you have to make sure all the units of measurement are the same. Because 3 pounds is very different than 3 ounces. So you have to make sure that they're all the same measurement. And then once all the units of are the same, then you can put them in order like regular numbers. So that is it for questions 3 and 4. Okay. Well, that's it for today. If you have questions, please reach out to your teacher. Take care.